From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Lisa Laporte. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau had some direct answers to questions about Canada becoming the 51st state in America today. In an interview aired on MSNBC, Trudeau says he's had experience working with incoming U.S. President Donald Trump during Trump's first 4 years in office.
As a successful negotiator, he likes to keep people a little off balance. The 51st state, that's not going to happen. It's just a non-starter. Canadians are incredibly proud of being Canadian.
Trudeau also points out people are now talking about the 51st state topic instead of about the impact of 25% tariffs on Canadian products going into the U.S. Labour Minister Stephen McKinnon says he won't run for the Liberal Party's leadership, but he will seek re-election in his Gatineau, Quebec riding. He says he can't mount the kind of campaign he wants to run in the short length of time the leadership race is allowed. The death toll from the wildfires ravaging the Los Angeles area has risen to 16, but LA Police Chief Jim McDonnell says that number could rise as the search for additional victims continues.
We have search operations now beginning. We will have cadaver dog deployment, and that will result in crime scene preservation efforts, and then the recovery of remains, working closely with the LA County Coroner. Tomorrow, winds will be picking up, as you heard, further, complicating our efforts and creating an additional fire danger.
McDonnell says they can no longer escort or allow residents to go back to their burned-out homes due to fire conditions. Russia has formed an emergency task force to deal with an oil spill in the Kerch Strait that continues to spread more than a month after it was first detected. Blue Origin's new reusable rocket is scheduled to launch early tomorrow morning.
The New Glenn is the size of a 30-story skyscraper. It can carry the equivalent of 3 semi-trucks in its cargo space. Jeff Bezos, the founder of Blue Origin, got permission from John Glenn, the first American to orbit the Earth, to name the new spacecraft after him before he died in 2016. The New Glenn will lift off from Cape Canaveral and head due east. The goal, to stick the landing on a retrieval ship. Each rocket can be flown 25 times. Brian Clark, ABC News.
And actress Kim Yaroshevskaya, who brightened the lives of several generations of Quebec children, has died at the age of 101. The Russian-born actress is probably best known as the storytelling Fanfreluche doll on Radio-Canada TV from the late 1960s and early 70s. A few years later, she enthralled a new generation of children in the role of grandmother on the cult show Passepartout. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, 5 games in the NHL today, including the Ottawa Senators versus the Dallas Stars. That game is now underway. Eric Staal will soon join a very select group as the Carolina Hurricanes retire his number 12 before tonight's game versus Anaheim. Staal joins Ron Francis, Glenn Wesley, and current head coach Rod Brind'Amour as the only players to have their jerseys retired by the franchise. The New York Sirens beat the Toronto Scepters 1-0 in PWHL action today. Canada is golden at the World Women's Under-18 Hockey Championship in Finland. They beat the U.S. 3-0 in the tournament final. A nice start to the Australian Open for Canada's Leylah Fernandez. The 30th seed from Montreal beat a Ukrainian opponent in straight sets in her first-round singles match. And the Buffalo Bills beat the Denver Broncos 31-7 in NFL playoff action today. From the Canadian Press, I'm Lisa Laporte.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.